Welcome to Orion tutorial. In today's tutorial video, I'm going to be teaching you how to design Raft foundation using Orion software. So this is a structure I've been doing, so I thought I should show you how to design Raft foundation. We have done pad foundation design and some other things that we have done on this particular series of Orion tutorials. So if you don't watch our previous videos, please watch our previous videos to know how we got to all these point beams, slabs, grids, rebars and all of that. So please do watch our previous tutorial. So the foundation is at this base, so I'm going to insert a Raft foundation because the soil properties I'm designing for is a poor soil, which is a silty clay that I'm designing for. The soil is silty, so I want to put a Raft foundation, not a pad foundation. So I'm going to turn this back to my plan view by clicking this button here, which is P on it. So this is it. So the foundation is at the storage 0, 0. This is your tree structure, so I'm going to double click on it. So this is my storage 0, 0, which is my foundation level. We have all the columns and grid lines in it. So to design my Raft foundation, I'm going to insert beams. So I'm going to come to this particular beam properties, which pops up. So I have a 225 width beam, and the depth I'm going to put 900. This is 900 millimeters. So I'm going to shift this a little bit away, and I'm going to zoom in to start inserting my beams. Now to insert my beams, we have done that on this channel, so you can also go watch it and follow suit. So I'm going to click on this particular column and I'm going to insert my beam. It's done. So the beam span from here to here is a beam span which is 225 and 900. So I'm going to go over to this particular one. So I have the plan done already, so that is why I know where each beam. This one is not done properly, so I'm going to undo that, go back to my beam properties, and I'm going to zoom properly, and I'm going to insert it correctly so it's done correctly. So I'm going to do for this one also. I'm going to insert for this. It's done correctly, so I'm going to also insert for this. So I'm going to make for this one also. I'm just trying to make sure the tutorial does not get too long. So I'm going to make for this one also. Insert for this one also. Now this is a very long lobby for my building that is there. So I'm going to make this one. I'm going to insert this one. I have inserted for all the lobby. So I'm going to insert now. I'm going to insert this other beam here. I'm going to pull away when you get to this point, and I'm going to release. So all spans is done. Then I'm going to come to this part, inserting that of the vertical. We'll have a horizontal here, and insert all horizontal. This one is inserted. I'm going to come to this one. I'm going to insert this one also. I'm going to make for this one. Now all horizontals have been inserted, so I'm going to come insert the verticals. So please zoom in a little bit, because this grid and this grid is close. Now if you don't zoom in that much to get this particular middle point, now the beam I'm inserting is going to snap to the wrong grid. That's why I'm zooming in. So I'm going to zoom in very well, so it's done correctly. I'm going to take from this top to the bottom of this. I'm going to release. Now it's inserted correctly. Now we have a particular staircase here, so that I'm going to put beam here. I'm going to come to this particular one. I'm going to insert. Now this grid is close to this grid, that's why I'm zooming in. Now I'm going to take each span so that the beam does not snap to the wrong grid. So that's why I'm taking it this way to avoid that error from occurring. So that is done correctly. So I'm going to do for this one, I'm going to take it from this bottom so it snaps. It's okay, it's done rightly. So I'll take this one, put it here. I'm going to take from this particular one, I'm going to drop it there. So it's done correctly. So this is a straight grid, so I can just click on this column, pull down and release. So all spans created accordingly. I'm going to do for this one also, created accordingly. So now this one, this particular path is remaining, so I'm going to insert for this particular part. I'm going to start from the right, left. So you can start any either way you choose, you can just do that, but I like starting from the left to the right. So I'm going to click on it, I'm going to release. That is done. Now I'm going to zoom because these two grids are very close, that's why I'm zooming in to make sure it's there. Now to insert the beam, just in case you've not watched a previous tutorial, you're going to left click on this column. Now as I pull away, you see a rubber band type of line following me. Now when you get to this column, you're going to release your mouse. Now it's created. So that's how we insert beams. So you can also watch our previous tutorial if you've not watched our previous tutorials, because we have talked intensively on that. So I'm not going to talk much on that for now. So we have successfully done every of our beam and we have inserted them. So let's go over to our 3D. I'm going to make a 3D window here. I'm going to make a 3D. So this is our beams. So we have inserted our beams at our foundation level. So you have seen this is how it is. Now I'm going to put a slab. So I'm going to go back to my plan view. I'm going to turn this off. So I'm going to go over to the slab properties. I'm going to click on this slab here. As I go over, you see slabs comes up. Now my slab properties is set, so I want a 150 particular slab. So I'm going to make it 200. I'm going to make my slab 200 and 25mm concrete cover. So I'm going to, as I go, you see each panel is coming up. So I'm not going to look where a staircase or whatever is, because this is my foundation level. So this is my raft. So I'm going to place slabs on every particular panel on this foundation level. So I'm going to place all slabs through. I'm going to place all slabs through. I'm going to make it all slabs. So as I click, all slabs is created. Let's turn it back to 3D to see what we have done so far. So I'm going to make it to 3D. Now you see the slabs have been created. I'm going to click on this to play animations. Move this a little bit away. So everything slabs is created. Now I'm going to turn this off. Turn this off because I don't need it anymore. Go to my palm view. I'm going to do analysis for my raft foundation. So I'm going to come to run. So on this my run, you see this FE raft foundation analysis. So I'm going to click it. Already I've done my building analysis. You can rerun your building analysis if you want to rerun your building analysis, but I've done my building analysis. So I just want to design for my foundation. So I'm going to design, click on that. So this is finite element flow analysis. So this is my soil property. So these soil properties, this soil subgrade coefficient is determined by the geotechnical engineer, so which is from the soil investigation. So if you need to do this particular soil subgrade coefficient, you need to get it so that you'll be able to know the particular soil. In my case, it's very poor, so I'm designing for a silty medium dense sand. So this is what I'm designing for. So there's a property of the soil, it's within this range, so I'm going to choose that. Then I'm going to come to this my Raft foundation mesh analysis, which is click X because I've not run the analysis. So as I rover, you see say beam load analysis is required, so I'm going to click on it. Say final element is this, say yes, go ahead, do the design. So this is my raft that has been done. So I'm going to click on generate. Now the uniform factor mine is always set to 100. Now if yours is on 25, which is the default, you can make it to be 100. So I'm going to say generate model. So now this model is generated. Now if you see all the model I have here, each is blue and everything here has a triangle. So if I zoom in a little bit, so you see all has triangle and is connected to each other. So that is to tell you that this blue means this design is okay. So if I close this matte foundation analysis, so it's going to make the design. So I'm going to close it. Now it's running the analysis. So analysis is done. So this is analysis. So I'm going to go over to my analysis post processing. So I'm going to go, now it's coming up. So this is it. So now all forces, you can see, let me zoom in a little bit. So this is all forces. There's a column forces. So these are everything that has been analyzed and all is correct. So this is it. So I'm going to make some contours in order to know which part is okay and which part is not okay. So I'm going to click on this. Now you can see this part we have that is green, it's okay. So I'm going to check on that. I'm going to go to those parts. I'm going to check on the steel. So this is the steel. I'm going to double click on it. So this is my steel here. So you're still going to go double click on this, see what is happening there. I'm going to go to the top, see what is happening there. So we're going to check each of them to make sure they are correct and all is well. So this is it. So I'm going to double click on this. Because our slab is 200, which is going to be doubly reinforced. So we have reinforcement in each direction. So these red areas, which are slightly red in color, proves that this steel is inadequate, but these areas are adequate. So I'm going to show you, this is my required steel area, which we have the top, this is the bottom one and the bottom two. So this is in one direction, this is another direction. Let's say the X and the Y, and also the top we have the X and the Y, because since it's doubly reinforced. So if I click on this top, now it is not sufficient, so I'm going to go to edit contours. On edit contours, which is here, this is a threshold. Now you see this red, which is the area provided, which is the max here. So I'm going to say set normal steel. So this normal steel, I have a diameter of T12, so I want to make it to be 150, the spacing to be 150. just want to make it to be 150. Then I'm going to, now the area, you can see the area changes as I make it to be 150. The area changes, so I'm going to say okay. So now the area changes, then I'm going to say okay. Now you can see it becomes green, which means it is okay. Now you can still go back, make it to be adequate. If you want to be, you can say set normal. So 150 is too much, I want it to be 200. Let me see if it's okay. So you say okay, now it comes back, and when I say okay, now it's still okay, because these are the contours. So this the area for the contour, which is the green area, which proves that okay, this is adequate for this particular direction, which is the X. So I'm going to go back to the let me say this is the Y. I'm going to do for also the other direction, which is for the top. So this area is inadequate, so I'm going to go to edit contours on this. This is provided, and this is the max. So I'm going to go over to this. I'm going to make it to be 200. So I'm reducing the steel area to make it, now it becomes okay. So I'm going to also check for this bottom. Some parts are still lacking some sufficiency of bars, so I'm going to still go back to normal. This is 200, so I'm going to make this one to be 150. So I'm going to say set normal, it becomes okay. So I'm going to also go back to this, my top here. So I'm going to set this is the max, which is 700. So I'm going to reduce this. I can say another, maybe you can say 200 just to check. Say 200. I'm going to say okay, click, then it's adequate. So this top, I'm going to check, edit contours. I'm going to go to normal, 150. It's a little bit it's adequate. So it's adequate, so I'm going to say okay, it's adequate. So I'm going to go to this one also. I have a little shape there, so I'm going to say the max is 500. So I'm going to say 150. So 150, it's adequate. So the steel area provided, it's adequate. This is the top, the bottom two in another direction. This is 500. I'm going to say set normal, it's 250. I'm going to say the bottom is in 200. So I'm going to say okay, set, it becomes adequate. So this one and all, it's adequate. So this is the top, so I'm going to change it, make it to become adequate. This is 200. I'm going to say 150. Say okay, now it becomes adequate. So I'm going to close this, and if I close this, you're going to see what will happen. So this say transfer strip load, I'm going to tell it okay. So after you've done, you're going to transfer the load to the beam. I'm going to say yes, then I'm going to click close, and I'm going to go to run to see what I have designed. I'm going to go to my foundation beams. So this is my foundation beams. Now you can see most of them, the bars, the number of bars is insufficient. That's why you can see red on all of them. So I'm going to just edit them one after the other. So I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to make this to be 3 bars at the top, 3 bars at the bottom. Then the side bars, I'm going to make them to be 4. I'm going to say okay. Now you see it's ticked green. Now it's okay. So I'm going to go back to this other one too. I'm going to make it 3 top, 3 bottom, 4 side bars. Now the reason for this 4 side bars is because it is 900. So I'm going to have 4 by the side of this particular beam. Then I'm going to click OK. It's okay. So that's why I'm putting 4 at the side. I'm going to make this to be 3. Make this 3 top, 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom, 3 at the bottom. Each span has to carry the same number, so I'm going to make this 4. I'm going to make this 4. So I'm going to say okay, now it turns green. So I'm going to make all of this for all. Then when I come back, we're going to click on that. So I'm going to save down for all. So this is the last one, so I'm going to do for this. So now this comes up, so I'm going to make the 8, make it nice and neat. I'm going to make 4 at the bottom, 3 on each span to make the beam. Okay, against deflection, I can see deflection is satisfied. So I'm going to make this 4. We'll make this 3, this one 3, 3 top, 3 bottom, the side has to be 4. Pull this scroll bar so that I'm going to see the rest of the beam, since the beam is very long, having several spans on it. So this is 4, so this is the support. From this point to this point is a span on this entire beam. So I'm going to make the span to be 3, the span to be 3, and the side bars to be 4. So I'm going to click OK, now it turns green. So this is it. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to turn it to 3D. So this is the building that we've designed. I'm going to play the animation, move this a little bit away. So this is a 900 by 2 on how to design a Raft foundation. See you in our next tutorial.